Health Organization recently issued a report saying that the cases of diabetes has quadrupled since the year 1980. There are now over 400 million diabetics living in the world. Now, there's no mystery that obesity and weight gain are directly tied to type 2 diabetes. But what is a mystery is how do we shed the pounds and really keep them off? Let's Talk America with your host Shana Thornton chats exclusively with the herbal pharmacist David Foreman. He shares some vital health tips and puts us on a path of healthy living. Join us. Welcome. I have the honor of sitting with the herbal pharmacist, David Foreman. You know, David, we opened up with a very hard-hitting report by the World Health Organization saying that the rate of diabetes has quadrupled since the year 1980. There are now over 400 million diabetics living worldwide. Just how serious is this health concern?
It's probably the most serious health crisis that we're facing. And you said worldwide. You know, just here in the United States, I think we've got over 120 million people now that are either diabetic or pre-diabetic. It's an epidemic, and diabetes and being overweight not only can just kill you by themselves, but they're also linked to the diseases that, you know, like heart disease, #1 killer, cancer, #2 killer, and then a whole bunch of other health challenges that may not necessarily kill you, but make your lifestyle not so fun.
Wow. You know, the CDC says that 1 in 3 Americans are obese. Why?
Lifestyle. I hate to boil it down that way, and a lot of times, well, you know me, I'm pretty hard-hitting, and I tell things the way it is, and I got to tell you all that it's most of the time with weight, it's a lifestyle decision, and people don't like hearing me say it's a decision, but we're not eating right, we're not getting the activity that we need for the amount of calories we consume. And so just those two things alone, I mean, granted there are other factors, but I think too many times people rely on, well, my mom and dad and my grandma and grandpa were overweight, so that's why I am. And the reality is that, you know, it could be hereditary, or it could be that your whole family over history has had the same bad lifestyle choices. But you know, Americans are busier than they've ever been, right? So they say the rate of diabetes has quadrupled since 1980, but the world looks very different today. We have social media, right? You have a lot more single parent homes, and they're doing a lot of the things, activities on their own. They're hearing you right now. Some mom is listening in, or a father, or even an aunt, and they're saying, yes, you're saying it's decisions, but I have to work 1 to 2 jobs. I have to try to read with my child, try to put food on the table. It's not simple, David. No, and I'm a single parent. My kids have lived basically with divorced parents and 2 separate households. I have my kids half the time, so I live and I walk the walk that you just threw at me. You know, some parents obviously they've got 24/7 all the time. There's a parent that's not active in the children's lives. Maybe someone's finances aren't necessarily the way mine are, although, you know, I've had my times in the last 10 years where things weren't so fun. it can be done. It just takes a little bit more time sometimes to think out when you go to the grocery store and plan. You know, like for me, I look for the BOGO, buy one, get one.
Okay.
And you can often find that even on fruits and vegetables. So, and then as for the time factor, you know, especially someone that's working 2 jobs, that is a challenge, but oftentimes you get a break during the day. You get a 30-minute lunch break. Some people do, I'm guessing. Or, you know, you get home from work, you can make a family activity. You know, everybody go for a walk together, and everybody download their day to each other. They're different little tricks I've learned to do. I used to host a radio show on satellite, and I had a lot of over-the-road truck drivers. Those are people that drive 800-900 miles in a day. They live in their truck, and obesity is a big issue for them. And I came up with these healthy snack ideas that would stay at room temperature for a couple of days. So when they did finally stop, they could pop into a store and get celery and carrot sticks and mixed nuts and things to snack on, as opposed to chips and a big greasy burger.
Wow. You know, speaking of those choices, one thing that people obviously can't decide is gender at birth, right? The CDC says that more women struggle with obesity and weight gain than men. You have to let us know why.
I think a lot of that is linked to hormones. And I think on top of that, I think it's also linked to you all have children. I mean, you know, and there's definitely, I mean, you're supposed to gain weight during pregnancy.
Correct.
I don't even know what the correct guidelines are on that anymore. I mean, some doctors will, you know, OBGYNs will tell you to get big old fluffy yourself, and then don't worry, you'll lose it. A lot of women don't nurse now after they have their child, and the easiest way for women to lose weight after childbirth is to nurse their child. And a lot of women don't realize that you burn up calories like crazy with that. And you know, we're a bottle feeding society nowadays, and we get embarrassed, or people make you feel embarrassed in public if you want to nurse your child in public. And I was just at an airport last week, and you know, some woman she was doing it right there at the gate. And you know, I could tell people were uneasy with it, but I think that's probably why, you know. Although it always baffles me, because I feel like women tend to be more active than men, because y'all are usually the one running the household. And I'll be honest about that. Like, really, you know, you're running the store, you run, right?
But you know, but on the other side of that, when you're saying, yes, nursing, they have studies that say it help you lose weight, also tightens the stomach or the belly area. But one other reality, every woman can't nurse, right? There's some conditions why she may not. Maybe the lifestyle doesn't lead to it. And I think most OBGYNs would agree. But you know, talking about the woman, we see the commercials out there, and we also may know of real life stories where it seems like the man will start a diet, the woman will start a diet. He seems to lose, the woman is struggling more to lose. It's not necessarily that women don't want to lose weight. I think you certainly have women, if not more than men, who are driven and motivated to say, you know what, I want to live longer, I want to be here to see my grandkids, but every diet they've tried, David, has failed them.
Well, and the reason the diets have failed is that most of the diets are fad diets. And research now shows us the best diet is the one you can stay on. So whether it's, you know, however it is, whatever, you know, if it's a high-fat diet or a low-fat diet, or I mean, the best diet has shown to be a low-carb diet. Like, that's the number one. That's the best diet for losing weight. Going back to the men versus women, I want to make one comment on that. And that is that what burns calories is muscle. So if you have more muscle mass, you're going to burn more calories, even if you're just sitting still. So muscle is what uses up the sugar that your body has floating around in the bloodstream. So generally speaking, men are bigger. Men have more muscle mass, primarily because we produce more testosterone. It's not an activity thing as much as it is. We all produce the same hormones. It's just in proportion. It's different. For you, you produce more estrogen and progesterone than I do. I still produce those, but in small amounts. I produce a lot more testosterone, where you don't produce as much, and so we're going to have more muscle mass. More muscle mass means more calories burned. More calories burned means that we could eat the same kind of diet, but I'm going to lose more weight because of that.
So we're going to be right back, but I do want to emphasize again, you're saying women get in the gym and do some of the muscle exercises. Right. Don't necessarily say that's for men, I don't want to get too bulky. You're saying that can help us even trim some of the weight off.
Definitely.
Wow, I love it. We're going to continue this conversation with the one and only, the herbal pharmacist, David Foreman. We're going to be right back, and he's going to talk about healthy food choices. We've got some examples for you. Stay with us.
Sincere, powerful, and life-changing are just a few of the words used to describe the upcoming book, A Father's Daughter, written by journalist Shana Thornton. This authorized memoir of the life and legacy of Lisco Thomas Jr. will inspire you beyond measure. The author dissects the significant events of the man and the mythical being. This honest and yet encouraging true life biography tells the story of a poverty-stricken boy who grows into manhood while experiencing shocking and sometimes disheartening incidents. You will finish the book with a better understanding of what it takes to be a true survivor and personal hero. This complete memoir is for every member of your household. Boy, girl, man, and woman can learn something from the life journey of the dynamic subject. The book will be released soon in print and digital forms, so be one of the first to have it in your hands. Visit adaughtersfatherbook.com today.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we know fighting obesity is tough stuff, but how do you keep the pounds off? David Foreman, the one and only, the herbal pharmacist, believes it starts with food choices. Now, David, explain, because you've got some very attractive treats sitting here.
Spread, don't I?
You do.
Right? We should have a little party after this.
Yes.
So we're going to start with beverage choices.
Okay.
A lot of people are going to sodas, whether they're diet or not.
Okay.
They both contribute to weight gain. People have trouble wrapping their head around why would a diet soda.
Yes.
Soda in general, even if it's just soda water, will bloat you.
Okay.
And that can make you just gain 3 or 4 pounds just in fluid.
Wow.
So it won't necessarily help with fat loss.
Okay.
But it also, artificial sweeteners trigger your body to think you're getting sugar. So usually later down the road, your brain's going, yo, I tasted what was sweet, but I don't feel what was sweet, and you might have cravings. So
I see.
So if you really want to, and a lot of those caramely beverages you get at the coffee places,
yes,
you know, those things pack on the pounds as well. If you're thirsty, you need to drink something, drink green tea. So this, you can make green tea at home. During the summer, I live in Florida, during the summer, I brew a whole bunch of it up at one time, keep it in the refrigerator, drink it cold over ice. You can even, buy green tea already made up. Again, keep in mind if you're, try to buy the unsweetened if you can.
Yes.
The cool thing about green tea will help with weight loss, not just because it's a healthy beverage, but it stimulates your metabolism. So you're going to burn more calories than you normally would, helps you burn fat, and it actually curbs cravings as well.
Wow, so you believe, a big fan of green tea. Now, I see the biscuits here. Come on.
Breakfast.
America loves biscuits.
They do, and you get, little preserves there. So we are a carb, starch, crazy culture. We eat potatoes, rice, pasta. That's what all this stuff is. I'm a corn chip freak. I'm a potato chip guy. All those starches get broken down real easy in the body to sugar. And your body can do 2 things with it. It can either use the sugar for energy or it stores it as fat.
Yes.
Because we've eaten so many starches, we've turned our bodies into what I call fat factories.
Wow.
And so since they're so difficult to give up, they're inexpensive, they taste good, and I feel like they're kind of addictive.
Yes, and they're cheap.
And they're very cheap. So if you're going to have starches, I recommend using an ingredient you can find at your local health food store called Phase 2. It's a white kidney bean extract. It's scientifically researched to show it helps you lose weight.
Wow.
And if you use it over an extended period of time, like I will use it with every meal, regardless of whether it has a starch, that way I don't forget. And what phase 2 does, besides blocking starches from being broken down into sugar, over time it's shown to help decrease cravings.
Wow.
So,
you know, David, thank you for the food display, telling us what works to keep weight off or help our bodies get as healthy as possible. You know, if you could close on one tip, the best tip you've known out of your many, many years of being a pharmacist, all of your great dietitian and nutritional information, what would it be for someone right now sitting in San Diego, California, saying, I want to keep the weight off, David?
You want to keep the weight off? It really starts with you and your lifestyle. You know, make sure you're doing the healthy food choices.
Okay.
Throw out the things that aren't good for you.
Yes.
Only keep the good things at home, and make sure you get moving. Start walking, taking the steps instead of the elevator, but stay active. It's really about your lifestyle, and just sitting at home thinking about it doesn't change. You've got to be active.
Okay, and when you say be active, I just want to say you don't necessarily need to run a marathon, but even light housework, right, David?
Yeah, housework, gardening, anything that's called activity. So, for me, I live on airplanes, so for me to stay active, I walk terminal to terminal instead of get on the little people mover.
I see. Very great advice. Well, thank you for joining us here on a special televised made-for-TV edition of Let's Talk America with your host, Shana Thornton. Again, obesity in America, what's weighing us down? Visit our website at www.letstalkamerica.com. All right, everyone, we will be with you again, so stay tuned in. Thanks, David.
Thank you.